Let's have a look at the solution. We go into balances, which is a B-tree map, and because it's a B-tree map, it has the method insert. The method insert expects a key and a value, both of which take the ownership, and it returns an option, a generic V. Now, because it expects the ownership and we only pass here the who with a reference, we need to clone it. The amount is being automatically copied because it implements the copy trait. I think, as far as I'm concerned, all primitive types implement the copy trait and are automatically being copied whenever it is required. So the compiler is smart enough to check, okay, this value is going to be copied. Then let's move on to the next, the balances function. Here let's first go through this part. We go into balances, call get. Let's have a look at get. So this is expecting our reference, and here we return an option, which returns again our reference. So our option, and inside the option we have a reference to the generic value V. In our case, this is going to be the U128. All right, so we call this. Then there might be a value or there might not be a value. That's why we call unwrap or. If there's no value, we return our reference to a 0. And as this whole thing is returning our reference, we want to dereference it because the function is expected to return a proper value, not a reference. Let me explain it a little bit more in depth why we need here the reference operator. This part returns, so the get returns our option to our reference. And because of that, if we have the or case, we need to return a reference as well. Rust is strict. It's not like JavaScript where you can return different kinds of values and different branches in one function, for example. So we cannot do something like either return U128 or return a reference to U128. So this is one problem. Another problem is that if, let's assume we have not the reference here, if this is now going to be returned, what are we going to do with this dereference operator here? It doesn't make sense if it's the case where we return not a reference. So this would cause obviously an error as well. That's why we need to be strict and type safe, and we say in both cases we return a reference.